Dealers charge $150 to fix foggy headlights. Look at this one. You can barely see the bulb through the lens. I tested 4 methods that cost less than $2 each on this exact car and tracked every result for 30 days. 3 of them failed completely. One of them worked so well that I have not been able to stop thinking about why the dealer version exists at all. Stay with me, because the method that finished last is the one that every single person recommends online, and the method that finished first is one that almost nobody talks about. By the end of this video, you are going to know exactly which one is worth your time and which ones you should never waste an afternoon on again. Before we get into the testing, I want to say, if you are here for real experiments that show you actual results instead of sponsored opinions, subscribe right now and tap the bell. That is exactly what this channel does every single week. Every method gets tested properly, every result gets shown on camera, and nothing gets exaggerated to make a product look better than it actually performed. Now, let me set this up properly, because the way I ran this test matters if you want to trust the results. Here's the problem we are solving first. Look at this headlight closely. That yellow cloudy surface is not dirt. It is not something you can wash off. Headlights on modern vehicles are made from polycarbonate plastic, not glass. That material is lightweight, impact resistant, and works extremely well when it is new. The problem is that polycarbonate oxidizes when exposed to ultraviolet light over time. The surface develops a cloudy yellow layer that scatters light instead of projecting it cleanly forward. The practical result is that your headlights look terrible, and more importantly, they stop illuminating the road the way they are supposed to. Studies have shown that severely oxidized headlights can reduce forward road visibility by up to 80% compared to new lenses. That is not a cosmetic issue. That is a genuine safety issue that puts you and everyone else on the road at risk. And yet, the dealer solution to this problem costs $150 for something that takes a technician about 45 minutes to perform using products you can buy for under $20 at any auto parts store. That gap between what it costs and what you're charged is exactly the reason this experiment exists. Now, let me tell you exactly how I set this up, because the testing method here is more controlled than anything I have seen in other headlight videos online. I found a 2009 sedan with both headlights in identical condition, heavily oxidized, yellow and cloudy enough that you could barely see the bulb through the lens at night. I divided each headlight into 2 vertical sections, using painter's tape so I could test 2 methods per headlight and compare them directly side by side under identical conditions. Same surface, same sun exposure, same temperature every single day. No variable except the method being tested. I photographed every section before starting and measured the clarity using a light transmission test, shining a calibrated light source at the lens, and measuring how much light came through on the other side. I ran the same measurement at day 1, day 7, and day 30. And here is the rule I set before starting. If a method could not hold its result for 30 days, it did not count as a real solution regardless of how impressive it looked on day 1. That 30-day requirement is what separated this test from every other headlight restoration video I have seen, and it is also what produced the result that genuinely surprised me. Keep watching, because the 30-day numbers tell a completely different story than the day 1 results. Method 1 was toothpaste. Look at this. Just plain white toothpaste, not gel, not whitening formula, not any specialty product. The most basic toothpaste available at a dollar store for under $2. This is the method that gets recommended more than any other in online car forums, Facebook groups, and YouTube comments. The science behind it is straightforward enough. Regular toothpaste contains mild abrasive particles, typically calcium carbonate or hydrated silica, that are fine enough to polish tooth enamel without damaging it. The theory is that those same particles will abrade the oxidized layer off the surface of the polycarbonate headlight lens if you apply them with enough pressure and circular motion. I applied a generous amount to a damp cloth and rubbed it in firm circular motions across the test section for 5 full minutes. The immediate result was honestly better than I expected going in. The section treated with toothpaste went from heavily yellowed and cloudy to noticeably clearer after 1 application. The light transmission measurement improved by about 35% compared to the untreated baseline. I photographed it carefully, covered the section to prevent further sun exposure, while the other sections were being treated, and moved on. But here's what I need you to remember about that 35% number, because what happened to it by day 30 is the detail that almost every online recommendation about toothpaste and headlights conveniently leaves out. I'm going to come back to that number, and I promise the comparison is going to change how you think about every budget headlight recommendation you have ever read. Method 2 was a baking soda and dish soap mixture. This one gets recommended constantly in budget car care communities, and the logic behind it makes a certain amount of surface level sense. Baking soda is a mild alkaline abrasive, and dish soap acts as a surfactant that helps the mixture spread evenly and lift contamination from the surface. I mixed 2 tablespoons of baking soda with 1 tablespoon of dish soap and applied it to the test section with a soft cloth using the same circular motion technique I used with the toothpaste. The immediate result was weaker than the toothpaste, about a 20% improvement in light transmission at day 1. The abrasive action of the baking soda is gentler than the calcium carbonate particles in toothpaste, which means it removes less of the oxidized layer per application. But something unexpected happened that I did not anticipate going into this test. Stay with me, because what I found at the 7-day mark with the baking soda section changed how I thought about the entire chemistry of this problem. And it is something nobody warns you about before they recommend this method. Method 3 is the one I am calling the $2 household liquid solution. And this is where the test starts to get genuinely interesting. Look at this product. It is a 2% solution of oxalic acid, commonly sold as a wood bleach or deck cleaner in any hardware store for under $3 for enough concentrate to treat dozens of headlights. Most people walk past this product every single time they visit a hardware store without having any idea what it can do to an oxidized headlight lens. Oxalic acid is a chemical exfoliant rather than a mechanical abrasive. Instead of physically scratching the oxidized layer off the surface the way toothpaste and baking soda do, it dissolves the oxidation through a chemical reaction that breaks down the yellowed polycarbonate compounds without attacking the healthy plastic underneath. I diluted the concentrate to a 2% solution with water, applied it to the test section with a foam applicator, let it sit for 5 minutes, and wiped it clean with a microfiber cloth. The immediate result was the strongest of the 3 methods tested so far, about 50% improvement in light transmission at day 1. But I had seen a strong day 1 result disappear completely with the toothpaste method, and I was not ready to call this a winner based on 1 day. What happened at 7 days and 30 days with this section is what I have been waiting to show you since I started this experiment. Method 4 was the $150 professional dealer restoration service, which I'm testing using the equivalent consumer-grade 3-stage kit available at auto parts stores for about $20. The same chemistry, the same process, just without the labor charge. Look at this kit. 3 separate products, 3 separate stages, specific instructions for each. The professional kit contains a chemical wet sanding compound that removes the oxidized layer more aggressively than any of the DIY methods. A polishing compound that smooths the surface after the sanding stage. And critically, a UV protective clear coat that is applied after polishing and seals the polycarbonate surface against further ultraviolet damage. I applied the full 3-stage process exactly as instructed on the packaging. This took about 25 minutes per section compared to 5 minutes for the other methods. Now I have all 4 sections treated, photographed, and measured. And I need to tell you that what happened over the next 30 days is not what I expected from any of them. Here's the 7-day update, and this is where the stories of these 4 methods start to seriously separate. The toothpaste section at 7 days had already begun fading from its day 1 result. The improvement had dropped from 35% down to about 22% in 1 week. The baking soda section at 7 days had faded back to nearly its original condition, and under close inspection, the surface appeared slightly rougher than it did before treatment. The alkaline chemistry of the baking soda appeared to have caused minor surface etching on the polycarbonate in addition to the mechanical abrasion, which actually increased the surface area available for future oxidation. That was not a result I expected, and it is not something any of the baking soda recommendation articles mention. The oxalic acid section at 7 days had held almost completely, only about a 5% reduction from its 50% day 1 improvement. And the professional kit section at 7 days looked excellent, very close to its day 1 result with no visible degradation. But something happened at the 30-day mark that changed the final ranking in a way I need to show you carefully because the numbers tell a more complicated story than a simple first-place finish. At 30 days, the results were as follows, and I want to give you the exact light transmission numbers because the differences are significant. The toothpaste section at 30 days showed only 8% improvement over the untreated baseline. That means it had lost over 75% of its day 1 result in 1 month. Look at this section compared to day 1. The difference is visible to the naked eye. The baking soda section at 30 days showed negative 2% compared to the untreated baseline, meaning it was marginally worse than if I had done nothing at all. The surface etching I noticed at 7 days had allowed fresh oxidation to develop faster than on the untreated control section. Remove this method from your list entirely. The oxalic acid section at 30 days showed 42% improvement over the untreated baseline, 42% after 30 days from a $3 product and 5 minutes of application. And the professional kit section at 30 days showed 58% improvement over the untreated baseline, the best result of the 4 methods. So the professional kit won the 30-day test. I'm not going to tell you otherwise. But here's the number that I cannot stop thinking about, and it is the reason I spent an extra week researching this before finishing the video. The UV protective clear coat that is responsible for the long-term holding power of the professional kit result, the component that separates 58% from 42% at 30 days, is sold separately in aerosol cans at any auto parts store for $4. The oxalic acid costs $3. A $4 UV clear coat applied after a $3 oxalic acid treatment would bring the total cost to $7 and would very likely close most of the gap between the cheap method and the $20 kit. I'm running that combined test right now, and the 60-day results will be in the next video, but based on everything the 30-day data produced, here's the conclusion that the dealer would prefer you never arrive at. The $2 method outperformed every commonly recommended DIY approach by a factor that makes those approaches not worth attempting. And the only meaningful advantage of the professional kit is a UV sealant you can buy separately for $4. So let me give you the practical summary. Toothpaste works temporarily and loses most of its effect within a month. Use it only if you need a quick fix before you can do the job properly. Baking soda and dish soap perform worse than toothpaste and may leave your headlights in a slightly worse condition than you started. Do not use it. The $2 oxalic acid solution delivers dramatically better and longer lasting results than either abrasive method and costs $3 for enough product to treat every headlight on 10 vehicles. It is the clear winner for cost versus performance. The professional dealer kit produces the best long-term result specifically because of the UV clear coat component, but that clear coat is available for $4 separately, and combining it with the oxalic acid treatment will almost certainly produce comparable results for $7 instead of $150. I want to hear from you on this one. Drop a comment below and tell me which result surprised you the most. Was it the toothpaste losing almost all of its effect by day 30? The baking soda making things marginally worse than doing nothing? The $3 solution holding 42% improvement after a full month? Or the fact that the only thing separating the expensive kit from the cheap solution is a $4 UV clear coat you can buy yourself? Tell me in the comments which one surprised you most. I read every single one, and your answers directly shape what gets tested next on this channel. And if you know someone who is about to hand a dealer $150 to restore their headlights, share this video with them right now. One share from you is $143 savings for someone you know. Subscribe if you have not already, because the follow-up to this test, oxalic acid plus $4 UV clear coat versus the professional kit at 60 days, is already running, and that result is going to settle this question completely. That video goes up next week, and you genuinely do not want to miss it.